Hello and welcome back to the Dan Cave, and welcome back to another bench update, and welcome to the first bench update of 2022. So happy new year, everyone. So it's January 2022. I suppose the last video kind of bench update wise was the review of 2021, review of everything that was built. So I did suggest in that I'd talk a little bit about plans for this year, or rough idea of some of the things I'd like to try and do this year. So I will get to that in this video. I will cover the kind of normal topics I go through in my bench update. So what's been built, what's been bought, what's in progress. So we'll get to that in a minute. So here we are, 2022. As I said in my kind of end of year review, the support so far has been absolutely overwhelming. Nearly 500 of you are subscribers. So if you're just watching this for the first time, please subscribe. I'm almost at the 500 mark. That will be a nice little boost to get. Thank you, of course, if you've already done so. Please drop a like if you like the video. And feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to ask questions if you want as well. Can be modelling related as well if you want. However, as always, I would like to thank a few people as well. So I've kind of popped them on screen. I've now got a new screen there, so I said I'd pop them on screen. So without doubt, international scale modeler Paul Bretland. Been fantastic support over the last year or so. Luke at Black Rifle Model Works. He's planning to do some work coming up soon that he's announced. He's going to do some tutorials. Although we're not allowed to call them tutorials, but they will be tutorials on some of the Warhammer stuff he's doing. Luke Ward at Scale Motor Hobbies. The youth contingent of the Friday Night Live crew. But another brilliant guy, model kit beginner, Roland, fabulous guy, absolute gent. He basically reviews everything that he buys, so he does an inbox review of everything he buys. If you want to know what a kit looks like, you'll probably find it on Roland's channel. And then of course there's a few people who are not part of the live crew, but who have been interviewed recently, and we'll say they're good friends of everyone at ISM, and I consider them friends as well. So Mike at Scaling Models, Sue Chaplin the Ice Queen, Colin Festa 67 of course as well. So all those guys are top guys as well, so go and have a look at their channels as well. The links will be in the description. So without further ado, and without dragging this out too long, let's go and have a quick look back at the completions from December. Now, both of these kits, I think there was 2 kits completed in December. You would have seen pictures in the full year review if you watched that, but we'll do a little bit more of an in-depth look back at both those kits, and then look at what I bought over that kind of Christmas period, because I did pick up a couple of kits. Then we'll do the what's on the bench, what's in progress, and then we'll come back to me for what thoughts for the year ahead. So over to the other me, and let's get to the bench. And silly old me forgot RW as well. Richie Waldron, another guy who's got a great YouTube channel. He set up his own Facebook group as well. But have a look for him. Have a look for his link in the description below, and give him a sub as well. Top bloke Richie. So now let's get to the bench. I mean it this time. So, thank you for the intro, me. So, in terms of completions from December, so first up was this. So this is the Revel FD100 Foose pickup truck. So this was part of the ISM group build, Christmas group build. Yeah, I think during the build of this there was a bit of a dip in mojo. the infamous Mojo, mainly because I didn't have a huge amount of bench time, so I was a little bit kind of distracted by other things going on. So actually getting through this took quite a while, but I am quite pleased with the outcome. I've kept it fairly simple, just a straight up paint scheme, very little done to it beyond that. So this has been, I primed this in UMP white, I think, from memory. Need to check my pictures for that. But then it's been painted in Gravity Spain Forward Nitrous Blue, which is actually a slightly metallic blue. So there is a little bit of a, well, it looks to me like a little bit of a goldish fleck in it. So stunning colour, really nice colour. And Gravity Spain, as always, great paints to work with. So I've added some Aoshima aftermarket wheels to it. A lot of the other bits have been kept fairly kind of stock. The bed itself, decided not to use the decal and just went straight in with some, basically some coffee stirrers. So these type things, chopped down to size and given a wash with Ammo Wash Neutral Brown, I think. Interior is mainly semi-gloss black, and then cream for the bench seat, so fairly simple interior, because I kind of wanted to get this done and off the bench. So, but yeah, really pleased with how it's come out though. I think the colour is stunning. So the, oh yes, it does open. So yes, the engine does open. Can remove it. So the engine was kept fairly stock. I did add a distributor cap from Scale Motor from Luke Ward, from his Etsy page, and added some purple HT leads, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, the engine is all stock. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this has come out, despite the kind of loss of mojo slash motivation through the middle of it. But there we go. That was one kit finished in December, and that'll go into the group build for the ISM Christmas group build. So kit number 2 completed was this, which is, if you follow the channel, this is a video build on the channel as well. So this is the Great Wall Hobbies Vulcan K Mark II. You can tell it's K Mark II because it's got the refueling dispense station on the rear. So 144 scale. A really simple kit, really nice, enjoyable build. Went together pretty well. Not much in terms of filler required. Few issues with the paint as I went through. If you watch the video, you'll see that. I didn't quite get the camouflage right first time. Repainted it grey, redid the green camouflage again, then used some UMP washes to add a little bit of kind of tonal variation, a little bit of dirt to it. But yeah, it's, I mean, shape wise, for me, when it's kind of sat on the shelf, it looks kind of spot on. It looks like a Vulcan should. It's got that kind of, you can kind of see it, it's got that, you know, kind of slight hump over the rear of the fuselage, and the wings just kind of gradually slope down a little bit towards the wingtip. Yeah, very nice kit. Would thoroughly recommend it. Great Wall Hobbies. Certainly the 2 kits I built last year were fantastic, the Victor and the Vulcan. So that is the that's the what's been built bit done. So what comes next? What's been bought, that's the next bit. So, what's been bought? Okay, so let's start with this. This is the Hasagowa Mitsubishi Gallant VR4. So used kit, bought from one of the used resellers. Looks a decent enough kit. Decals look in okay condition. there is a little kind of note in there, but that's kind of more for me. But yeah, all intact, all in good condition. A lovely car. Always liked this original kind of early style Gallant as a road car and as a rally car. So yeah, so I'll look forward to building that at some point. Who knows, maybe this year as part of my I want to build rally cars. So I picked up the Tamiya GTR, R34 GTR V Spec. One of the kind of cheaper Tamiya kits, but I didn't have one in the stash, so I just wanted to get one because I think I actually have the Bayside Blue from Gravity Spain for this kit. So again, another one in the stash. At the same time, I also picked up this, the new BMW M6 GT3. Mainly because I really like the colour scheme. The PlayStation scheme is really nice. I really like it. I know Paul at ISM ended up setting his on fire because he had some issues with the fit. Hopefully mine won't go that way, but certainly looks a nice kit in the box. Everything looks intact. Decal sheet looks very good. I'm not going to take it all out because I'll never get it back in. But yeah, really pleased to pick this one up. So those two last kits came from umpretail.com. So another, if I can find it. So another I picked up on the recommendation of Mr. Bretland as well, because he found somewhere where they had them. It was this. So this is the Tamiya Lancer Evolution 7. Another rally car, and I've actually picked up two of these. Mainly because these do seem to be going out of production at the moment with Tamiya. Not confirmed for this one, but certainly some of the other Evos have gone out of production, so always worth picking them up and putting them in the stash. They are a nice car. Probably build one in this scheme, and then I'm also on the lookout for some decals for another version as well, which will be for the other one. So that is the what's been built completed. So sorry, that's the what's in oh, you can tell I've been at work all day. My brain is just not with it. So that's the what's been bought. We've done the what's been built. We've done the what's been bought. Time to go on to what's in progress. Section number 3. So the first kit that's in progress I'm not going to show here because it's pretty much 99% complete, and that's the Hasagowa Attacker Q88 Le Mans car. So I'll stick some pictures up on screen of its in progress state. So that is very nearly finished, so that will be covered in a little bit more depth in the next bench update. So I'm not going to say too much about that now. Main thing to say about it is if you have this kit in your stash, the white decals for white stripes are way too translucent. So I originally put them on, so just painted the yellow and the black, put on the white stripes. They were far too translucent, so ended up stripping it all off, stripping the paint, reprimed in grey to cover up the yellow plastic, then primed in UMP white, then masked up certain white sections to then paint it in yellow, then masked up the yellow and white to paint the black, and then started the decaling process, which is what you'll see in the photos. So since then pretty much everything else has been done. So the interior, there's not much on the inside. Wheels have been done, remainder of the decals, so that is pretty much just in final assembly at the moment. So that's number 1 in progress. Number 2 in progress is this. Well, you can't really tell what it is from that, but it's Revell 72nd scale F4 Phantom. So as you can see, there's a box of bits. So been busy in progress with basically cleaning up the sprues, getting parts off, a little bit of priming. So I've started work on the likes of this on like the landing gear. So all those little jobs are on their way. Kind of, yeah. So this is a build for the American group build. It was sat there looking at me, haven't built a Phantom in years, wanted to build one, decided to pull this one out of the stash. So this is an old monogram kit. I think it's possible to just see. Yeah, monogram models. Not a brilliant kit. It's got all raised panel lines, which is a little bit disappointing. Flip side, it's got some surprisingly good details. I mean, the cockpit is not bad. You know, you get two crew figures. One of them's walking, one of them seated. You get kind of a full kind of weapons loadout for it, but they're not very good. Landing gear bays, you know, the air brake bays, all reasonably well detailed for 72nd scale, and then you've got raised panel lines. So it's a bit, you know, it's got positives and negatives, but it is quite an old kit and kind of reflects the way kits were made from when this originated, which I think is probably an 80s kit, maybe late 70s. But as usual with Revell, reboxed with a new set of decals on it. So that's in progress. Kind of taking a leaf out of Luke Carswell's book from Black Rifle Model Works. Something he said about the 32nd scale Tornado he's building. So he mentioned in one of his videos that he was kind of doing all the weapons and the bits that you'd often leave towards the end. So he was trying to do them up front, which actually kind of sparked a little thought with me that actually I do tend to rush when I get towards the end, so I've decided to try and get things like the undercarriage, weapons, all those kind of bits and pieces cleaned up, painted, etc., probably a bit weathered before I get to any of the kind of main construction elements. So a little bit of a change of approach for me. So that's in progress. That'll feature probably again next month. Hopefully it'll be finished by then, because I think progress will go quite quickly, because that other kit we just looked at is pretty close to completion. So kit number 3 in progress, which I can't say too much about, is this. So this is the Revell 1970 Pontiac Firebird. So this is actually in progress for a magazine. So they kindly provided the model, and I'm going to write up a review of this for a magazine. So it's a magazine I've written for before. Sorry, it's a group of people I've worked with before. It's a different magazine, but I've worked with these editors in the past. So Telford last year, they kindly supplied me this model, and this is in progress for that build, for that write up. So I'm not going to say too much about that. I'll tell a little bit more when that's done and in the magazine. So that is pretty much it for in progress. So head back over to me for a little bit of a sum up. Right, so that is the build bought in progress. So plans for 2022. So I don't do, you know, a strict list of kits. This is what I'm going to build. This is going to, you know, I'm going to build this, this, and this. No order. You know, I don't have a specific list. But I suppose I got to the end of last year and thought about what I've been building the most of and what I really enjoyed. And it will probably kind of dictate the majority of what I'll build this year, but not everything. So first of all, you know, I'll mention my stash. So I've got a good few kits, about 180, I think, in the stash. So not, not ridiculously big, but not, not tiny either. So, and as I mentioned before, that one of the things I miss from kind of building models from my youth is, when I was a bit younger, there was that joy of going to a model shop with, with a few quid. You go and buy a kit, you bring it home, you build it, and you get it done. And there was such excitement associated with that. Some of that is now lost because, I've got all the kits I kind of want. I tend to get them and they'll go in the stash and they'll get built at some point. But, that joy of taking a model home and starting it has kind of disappeared. So I did think, well, do I need all these kits? And kind of looking through what I've got, I think I may downsize some of the stash. And that's for a number of reasons. So I think over the last 2 years, I've been building a lot more cars. Built 3 bikes last year, so I've actually kind of found the enjoyment in the bikes as well. So, and I've bought quite a few over the last year, so that's kind of built those into the stash. I've built probably less aircraft than I've built before. So looking at what's in my stash, I think there's a bunch of aircraft, maybe 30-40 kits that I'm going to look at kind of moving on. So that kind of maybe says where kind of this year is going in terms of what I want to build. So thinking about the things I want to build, and you've seen one of the in progress kits of the F4 Phantom. I have a few kind of modern-ish fast jets from the US Air Force from the kind of 60s, 70s, so F4s, F15s. Those topics are always kind of close to my heart. So they're the couple of the things I want to build at some point. Always had an interest in kind of World War II aviation, so a lot of World War II kits I've got. I want to build them. Then it's mainly a case of, well, I've got lots of cars and bikes, and what, I kind of feel an urge to build a few rally cars. I've always had, an interest in rallying as a spectator. So, there's a bunch of rally cars I'd like to build. So that'll probably feature at some point. So they're the general themes. Beyond that, I do think maybe some armour at some point. I don't know. There's a couple of armour topics that I've thought about which would interest me a little bit. So they're the general kind of themes and topics for this year. Beyond that, there's no specific plan, there's no specific agenda. So that's where I think the channel is going this year. So there you go. That's as much as I wanted to talk about a plan for 2022. So I think we've covered everything. So again, thank you to everyone who's watching today. And if you've stayed with me this far, if you are new to the channel, please give a like, please drop a subscribe, click the bell notification, all that malarkey. And if you want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a comment. But thank you very much for watching, and stay safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.